Alright, everybody. Welcome back to another angry Pokemon stream. I hope I didn't butcher Garchomp's name. I don't think I did. So, yes, I've got two little sketches I made a few days ago. I am not really happy with these, and I was not happy with the others I made, so we're just gonna brainstorm a little bit, I guess. Because yes, it deserves better. So, start recording. Sometimes I just forget to record. So I did say this, yeah. Okay, I've got some reference. I've got turtles. I've got one more realistic Garchomp. I don't know if I'm gonna use it. I've got a Velociraptor and sharks. And a Monster Hunter monster. Also, we'll see which ones I will use. It's Garchomp is, what is it? It's a ground dragon. It looks like a hammerhead shark. It's bipedal. It's basically a kaiju. So I just think kaiju when I see this thing. So I don't know if I want to make more of a dinosaur sort of thing, but it kind of has a bit of a chicken feel, and it's not really what it has. Or I make it kaiju-esque. This is like an Ultraman kaiju. Oh, see, or something in between. I don't know. It's a tough call because it's so weird.
Yo, what's going on?
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Saw you sitting here in live stream voice just like the old days.
Yes, because I remember what you told me yesterday. I'm eating fish, so I remember things now.
That's good.
Yeah, how are you
Hopefully
doing?
not goldfish.
No, no. I thought about that, but no. Live, obviously, no. Not yet. I'm not that mean yet.
You know, at my old job, we had to clean out like this mansion that I guess these rich people used to own. And they had like a koi pond outside with like tons of koi.
Okay.
And I think they just like abandoned them. We went over to the koi pond and we see these koi and we threw some food for them. And then we're like, wait, is anybody taking care of these? Because I mean, you know, like if you have a koi pond, that's not a small expenditure to have at your house.
Right.
So yeah, we were asking around to see if anyone was going to be taking care of these koi or not.
I guess they were.
We never really got an answer.
Were they eating each other or something already?
No.
No.
They're just being koi. No pun intended.
Cannibal carps. They can get pretty big, like really big actually. I didn't know because I had like miniature versions in Sicily, like pretty small, very small actually, like less than a finger. And then I went to Japan and I saw these carps that are like an arm long. So
yeah, around here there's some pretty big catfish that you can find in the river.
Oh yeah, catfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've seen catfish obviously at the aquarium, but I don't think we have them here. I don't think we do. So what do you think about Garchomp? You know, this. Not about what I'm drawing specifically, but the Pokemon Garchomp.
I think baby shark.
Does it look like a kaiju to you? Like, don't you think kaiju? Because I was thinking like, well, if I have to, you know, draw this thing standing as it is a kaiju basically. You think about it in a kaiju movie, and or in a movie, it's basically just a kaiju. It's wacky like a kaiju. It's got like fins on the forearms, and only one claw or nail, giant horn instead of the hand. And it's
Gappa, Trifibian beast.
Ooh, Gappa?
Yeah, that was a old kaiju movie. Gappa, the Trifibian monster.
Okay, let me see. Does it look like that? Not that much. Well, it's basically okay. It's a kappa but different. It looks like it's inspired by a kappa though.
What they're going for the same thing in the design though, because Garchomp has like a land, air, and water feel. So he's a shark, but he's also a jet, and he's also ground. So he's a land shark, a flying land shark. So they're trying to do like air, water, and ground.
Yeah, it is a jet. It's got It's not exactly a hammerhead. I mean, technically, yes, it kind of looks like that, but it's more like a jet, and those fins are too straight to be wings. So
that's how in Scarlet and Violet, when you see it on the overworld, that's what he does. He flies around.
Like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's triple element, triple type.
Or
it should be
Triphibian.
Triphibian.
Because amphibian is like land
it's both.
and water.
Yeah.
And Triphibian is land, water, and air.
Is there anything that's actually like that? Like any real animal that's like that? I've never heard. I don't think.
I don't know if there's an animal. Technically, like a duck can walk on land, be on water, and fly.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think Triphibian is a name that they came up for the movie because even though that kind of makes sense to me, like if you have amphibian and Triphibian, but I think the actual technical term is trimodal, a trimodal animal.
Okay. Or ducks. Ducks are definitely trimodal.
Yeah, I was thinking like basically like a duck or a swan, usually something avian that can also navigate water.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Although this is a little too heavy to be able to fly. Heavy looking, at least. So, we'll see what we can come up with.
Well, I mean, I think that's why they gave it wings on the arms, is because like it kind of like it folds up its body a little bit and makes itself look like a plane when it's flying, I guess. Yeah. But it doesn't. Yeah, physically it doesn't really work.
Big Garchomp flying.
That's why I always like depictions of angels, where they give the angels like really big wings to be able to actually, realistically support the body.
Yeah, that would have to be pretty large. There is a. Oh yeah, there is like I guess a GIF of Garchomp racing against an F-15. It looks like something like that. Oh man, it looks so weird. Like,
well, it says that its Pokédex entry says it can fly at sonic speeds. So I guess, yeah.
Why is it not flying type though? Because you only have to.
Shark, I guess.
Yeah, but it can fly. So.
What do you think about Mega Garchomp compared to Garchomp?
I think I saw it a while ago. Let me check again if it's Mega Garchomp.
Mega Garchomp has the scythe arms.
I don't like the chest.
That's weird. I don't understand how that works.
Like, what is that? Teeth? Or
I think the problem is the illustration makes them seem flat, almost like a decal on its body, but I think they're supposed to be spikes coming.
But they stick out. They're sticking out.
Yeah.
From one side. It doesn't feel very mega to me, honestly. It just feels like a dressed up version of the original. It doesn't feel mega.
Well, that's
at
how
all.
the megas. That's what they did with all the megas. Just add more spikes to it.
Pretty much. It's more intimidating. No, I don't like it. I prefer the original.
Some of the megas. I think Mawile's mega is better than the original.
I don't know what that is. Wait, say it again? What?
Mawile?
Which one is it?
It's the one from Ruby and Sapphire. The one that like it stands backwards and it has like the big head on its like it has a ponytail that's a mouth.
How do you write that?
Mawile.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. I don't know. I don't like the. I don't. So the mega one is like with bigger hair.
It's got 2 heads instead of 1. Yeah.
So which one is the head? I don't know. I've never really liked this one, so it's better than others, but nah, it's yeah, not one of my favorite. Not one of my favorite. No. That's why I don't know the name.
Yokai.
Oh yeah, it looks like.
And it's called
might
like
as well be.
Futa Kuchi Ona. It's something like a woman that has like a mouth on the back of her head, that kind of thing.
Okay, so like all women in Japan, basically. Pretty much. Pretty much. If I was here, maybe. Okay, I'm like, oop. But yes, I don't know. I could do a more cute Pokemon next time. That's gonna look weird because it's gonna be mean. Like, I think Pikachu came out decent. I didn't show it yet, but I'm gonna post. I finished it today. I'm gonna post the time lapse on Saturday, and yeah, that's looking pretty good, in my opinion. So I don't know. Maybe I can do Clefairy or something. There is a lingering. Huh?
Yeah. That's exactly the one that came to mind to me was Clefairy.
There is a lingering Venusaur, obviously, that I'm gonna have to do.
You could do Ditto if you're not done with doing slimes.
I could. I mean, it's just a slime, basically. So it is simply a slime. I guess I would do it like a slime. Nothing. Man, I've got this photo. I have to share it. It's of a shark. See if I don't copy some other photo. What's this? Like, like, hello, sir. No, I don't want to pet you. Yeah, geez, ooh. Those teeth, man. Those
If
teeth.
nobody watching has ever seen a shark like bite something in slow motion, I highly recommend it because of how like crazy it is, the way they can detach their like gums from their mouth.
Oh
and
yeah,
reach out to grab
it's kind of creepy.
It's unsettling.
It is. It really is.
It really reminds me of like the xenomorph from Alien. How it can like open its mouth and there's like another mouth inside that like.
Oh yeah. Well, technically the eel has that. Some kind of. I'm not sure if it's the moray eel or some other. But there is an eel type that has got that. But yeah, the shark is way creepier. Because I've never seen like, I don't think I've seen videos of morays that do that. So I don't know how that looks. But sharks are kind of like you literally see like the gums that protrude out. That's really creepy. So.
What's that one worm that like it can spit out? It's what am I thinking of?
Oh no. What?
It has like a proboscis it can shoot out and it looks like tree branches.
A worm? Oh, I think you know what you mean. I don't know the name though, because I think I might have seen it.
The ribbon worm, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned it not so long ago.
Yeah, it has a proboscis that it shoots out to net prey, and then it draws them in.
Damn. Damn. Oh, okay. I'm pretty happy with this one. I might just go with this. Not too bad. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna do another couple maybe. I can even make the tail longer. Like point down. This is not bad. Okay, this is the other side. Do. I
You have to be
watched.
careful with
Yeah.
lips. You have to be careful with the lips so it doesn't look like lipstick on it.
Yeah. I mean, if I make it like a different plane, it's probably not gonna look like that. It kind of looks like lips at the moment. Like, nice, like that. There you go. Nice nose and then lips and a big smile.
Give it some eyeshadow, and it's ready to make money on the streets.
Yes. I was saying I watched the South Park video that Cheese posted. So it's pretty interesting, like what Scientology believes in. It's certainly very creative. I was thinking maybe you should launch your own. You're a writer and you write science fiction, so you should launch your own religion or movement at the very minimum.
I mean,
What do you think?
in Vykonauts, there are alien civilizations, and they all have their own belief systems, so it kind of fits into that.
No,
Actually,
you
one of
should-
the central elements of the story is a group of cultists that kind of
Oh,
worship something related to the keys. So
I see. Yeah, I know which ones. I guess. I draw one. I drew one. No, but you should launch your like a real one. Everyone seems to be doing that anyway. They pop up everywhere every now and then. So, especially
Yeah.
in Japan.
religions are everywhere. They don't always involve gods, but they do involve other things people worship.
Money, especially. So, oh well. I don't know. It was a funny video though. Like the part where the evil lord, I guess, the evil guy, set up the soul catchers in the sky. Because not happy of the fact that he just dropped a bunch of people into a volcano, and taught them religions. No, that was later. He caught them into the soul catchers, and taught them religions, and then released them upon the earth 75 million years ago, apparently, and humans were already there for some reason.
Right.
Not sure how. Not sure where the dinosaurs were.
We are reincarnations of the original aliens that he brought to Earth.
Yes. So wow. Well,
It's an interesting story. I mean, if you take it seriously, it's nonsense, but as a story, it's pretty fascinating.
yeah, it would be cool, like for a game or a movie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Have a game where that's the plot.
That would definitely be interesting. But nothing more than that. I don't know if I want it to be a shark. It's more like a gibble.
Gibble would be a baby shark.
Man, that song.
I have to
had
listen
to-
to it every day. So I
You or
understand.
me? What were you? Why?
For work.
Well. So you had to watch like a bunch of videos every day with the same song?
Well, it's the same song, but they're different videos. Do you know how many times the Baby Shark song has been
yes.
like re-uploaded and
I do.
made variations of?
Unfortunately, I do. Who made
Sometimes
the
it's
original?
animated, sometimes it's like live action people in costumes doing it. and
Who
it's
made the original?
like,
Was it a Chinese thing?
I don't think it was
Like Pink
Chinese.
Fawn? Because that's the first one.
I want to say that it was like originally a campfire song that people
Okay.
would sing around a campfire.
With the shark or with something else? So like,
No, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the song itself is actually kind of old because I think it came around when like the movie Jaws first came out, and then. But I think you're right. Like the Pink Fong version is like what sparked it recently as like a phenomenon.
I'm assuming the words were different though, or was it like Baby Shark do 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 do? Okay, That doesn't sound like a campfire song, like words wise.
Yeah, well, I can kind of see it because it's not just the words; it's also the motions, like people clapping along, that kind of thing.
Okay. I don't know. I guess I didn't have enough campfires. I don't know. It seems kind of maybe I guess for kids probably. Because it does feel weird. I don't like that song very much. Although I did pretend to like it when my son was small. Now I think he would spit in my face if I were to, you know, make him watch that kind of video.
I bet your wife would be all about it, considering the videos she lets them watch.
Yeah. I would rather have my daughter watch that kind of song, like the Ping Fong Baby Shark, versus the crap that she's subjected to, like Japanese crap. Like 100%.
Mouse dance.
Oh man. Yes. Yes and yes. You know, I should get into the habit of making poses that are a little less poses sometimes, because I figured out most of them are like, well, apart from that, they're mostly seen from just the front. But that's all I've been doing, like for either concept art or your game or other, you know, games like that. I always have to draw things more or less from the side or front, roughly the same eye level, so I never get to do like a top down or something like that.
It's really fun when I go back and play games that I used to play a lot as a kid, and I start noticing things like that, and it makes me laugh every time I see it now when I see the characters T-posing.
Yeah.
Like in Chrono Cross, when you go in the elevator and all the characters go into a T-pose as they're going up, because they probably just like didn't animate.
Oh, they do?
Animation correctly, yeah.
Jeez.
There's a game on PS2 called Kage Shadow King. It was like one of the PS2 launch titles, and I played it a couple years ago after playing it when I was a kid. And after every battle, the character, when the battle is done, he stands on the field in a T-pose until you start moving with him.
That's nice. And weird. Nice and weird.
To be fair, that was like 2001, so the architecture was still new, so maybe they just weren't as familiar with it as they were later on, but still.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was new hardware, so they were like pioneering new stuff. Also because like we were not used with the PS1, we were not really used to a lot of things. So it was pretty limited. I would imagine like with PS2 at some point, the early developers didn't really even know what they could do with it. So they're excused. They are excused. Who is not excused is developers at Game Freak. Because they had a lot of time to get used to the Switch. It was not exactly a new console when the latest games came out.
It wasn't a new console when the first Switch game, Sword and Shield, came out.
Yeah.
Switch had been around for 2 years at that point.
So they had all the time they needed.
And I would imagine, since they're Pokemon and they're part of Nintendo, that they probably had access to the hardware before most other developers.
I'm assuming, yeah. But hey, whatever. Game Freaks. Game Freaks.
Hire more people. Like, really. Hire talented people and fill
Hire
out your
me.
office, please.
No, I don't think I want to work with them. For them. I would rather not. Unless they change their attitude towards work. I probably don't. Probably don't. Chase, would you rather see a like a kaiju version of this or more of an animalistic? maybe non-chicken version of this thing.
It's up to you.
No preference at all? That's hard. I don't know. I'll see which one I like.
I mean, I would try to keep the style in line with the other ones you did, if you want to make it a series.
Oh yeah, series for sure. A series. Kind of series. So maybe a little more animal. Although, Blastoise is not exactly animal. Not exactly.
Blastoise is an odd case, though.
I mean, it could be some kind of fat turtle.
Well, I mean, I like him. It's just the canon elements in his design feel a little, they feel like something that was part of the original designs that they later went back on, but they kept that design in. I don't know how to describe it, because I think the original conception of Pokemon was probably different than how it originally came out in Red and Blue. But I believe that Blastoise was actually a separate Pokemon, and then they collapsed together into the Squirtle line.
Yeah, it was actually the original third evolution. The original Blastoise was much more similar to Wartortle.
Yeah, I remember this. Like, it had the big fluffy tail and the ears.
Yeah. So there's I think there's a back sprite of that. So yeah,
that's probably the correct choice. It would have been weird to have like two different water turtle lines like that.
Yeah, they could have changed it a little more though. Probably they should have changed it a little. I think.
I feel like they should have done something with Wartortle to make the transition a little cleaner.
Yeah, they could have added something like, well, maybe not cannons, but I don't know. Something
maybe
that,
a cannon.
Maybe one cannon,
so
or something like that.
Yeah, and then Wartortle has like a one back cannon, and then that's how Blastoise comes with the two cannons.
So when I was working on Blastoise, like the series, like Angry Blastoise I made, I was actually thinking if I were to make an Amato-ish version of Blastoise, then Squirtle would be a Kappa. Because it would make like so much sense, like very skinny. Then it becomes some sort of ogre or Oni. That would have been interesting. I might do it at some point. Because I still have the sketches. So yeah, I felt this one. Yeah, it's an odd thing. It's really I'm not thinking of many, I don't have any specific idea about this one. It's such a strange thing. Like when you get Charizard, you take Charizard, it's basically a dragon. Pikachu is some sort of rodent. But this is like,
I have to ask.
The hell, yeah.
The top right one, are you basing that off of a Midori art?
The top right? Not consciously, why?
She did a dragon that looks similar to it.
This? No, you said top left or top right, sorry?
Top right.
Top right, so...
The one with the two arms down.
No, that's just a kind of a classic. I use that pose sometimes. I use it if you go back and look at the original Komoryu variations. I don't know if it's in one of the ones I sent.
That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, that was one of the variations.
Yeah, right. Because I always use the same poses. I only have a specific number of poses. Unless I copy the pose, like I can look up some poses maybe. That's what I did with Blastoise in the end. Mm-hmm.
There is one by her that she did that it looks like.
I could be. It's a pretty simple, generic, average pose. So, wonder if I can find some more dynamic pose of Garchomp that I can use as a reference. 'Cause I don't know, these feel I could use one that is maybe it's like roaring or something. Oh, the tail up. Not happy with this choice. The community chose this one, but I'm not very happy with it. I would have preferred Venusaur. Probably. I don't have particular feelings for this. It's kind of cool design wise, but not that much. It's a little too much probably. It's a little too much. So it tries to do too many things together, and maybe not so successfully. Might just go for the standard one, like Pokédex entry, sort of. Suppose, man, I'm thirsty. I ate pizza again. No, that's gonna. Oh, this is also like a classic pose that I use for the flying reptile, the pterosaur that I made some time ago.
Check Discord real quick.
Yes.
I'm sharing a screen so you know which one I'm talking about.
Stream. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen that one. Did I? I did not remember this. No, absolutely. Nah, it's different from this. It's more of a, it's more like my classic. I don't know what else I can do with this pose. So yeah, just something generic I go with. I'm gonna go a little wilder now. Let's see this. Maybe we can figure something out. What happened to everybody who voted Garchomp? I would have figured they would be here for Garchomp on YouTube. Otherwise, I would have done Venusaur. If I were to choose, or another summon. Also.
Which one are you doing next, Garuda?
I think I'm doing Garuda. I'm gonna be doing Bahamut on my own, I guess. So, in fact, I could take to finish some of the sketches. I've done 2 sketches for August, so I could even stream, you know, taking one of those to a finish, depending on how the Pokemon people do or want. Because I would rather do that than Pokemon. That is but I am going to do at least, I think, Venusaur, because it makes sense. Like, I got all 3, and then
I think you should do a Charizard shirt,
like with that one, even if it's pointing to the side.
Yeah, well, I would get like a blank Game Boy cartridge image and then put the Charizard on the cartridge. That would be neat.
Okay, I can conjure something up. I definitely can. Yeah, that would be cool. I think you mentioned it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then instead of having Pokemon Red, put the Art of Nemo in the Pokemon font.
I don't know if anyone would buy it though. It's certainly cool, for me. But I don't know. I figure, like, especially Pokemon fans, they tend to want stuff that's very
official.
Yeah, not necessarily official, but with at least without other brands, probably. I'm thinking. In fact, I do have a version of the Ifrit T-shirt without the, text. I just have to upload it and make a new product and replace that, because I think it's throwing some people off. I'm just gonna remove it. I am going to.
Somebody made Pokemon Red and Blue cartridges for the N64.
Okay, so like bigger than it's the same type of cartridge but bigger, basically.
It's the same type of cartridge as an N64, but it has a Pokemon Red or Blue ROM on it that you can play on your N64.
Okay. I never had an N64, unfortunately. Wanted to, but I had to choose.
It's $35.
Now, how do you plug it in though? You need adapters, I guess.
No, you just stick it in the console and play it.
No. Oh, I thought you meant the N64. Now.
Well, I have an N64.
Yeah, but I don't.
Well, I guess you can't play it then.
Oh. How much does an N64 cost nowadays?
It's a good question. Let me see.
Can't be that much. Well, it depends.
Original refurbished N64, $89.99.
Okay, acceptable. Acceptable. I might get one one day. Set up a game room.
Anywhere between $80 and $110, something like that.
Okay. No, it's fair considering there's a limited amount. Although you could make your own basically with a 3D printer and a Raspberry Pi nowadays, I guess. Some Raspberry Pi.
To be fair, that's with the controller. If you buy it without the controller, it's like $70, it seems.
Okay. Well, the controller of the N64 was certainly unique, like with the middle stick.
Yeah, that broke pretty easily.
Oh, it did?
If you played Mario Party.
That's unfortunate. Well, I guess
it still works though. I played it like a couple years ago. I did a 100% run of Majora's Mask on the N64, my original copy.
I see. Never played that game either. Is it good as a Zelda game?
It's probably my favorite Zelda game.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I only played Twilight Princess, which I never finished because it was emulated. And well, the new ones, the Breath games. So
I was not a fan of Twilight Princess, but mostly because I hated the stupid fishing mini game at the beginning.
Oh,
with my Wii.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little complicated to play emulated, like very complicated.
It wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't like required to go through the game.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Mini games, I guess, should be optional all the time. Because otherwise, they're not meaning.
Skyward Sword. Sam has it and he hates it because of the controls.
Wasn't it the one with the first person? Or was it another?
Skyward Sword was the Wii U one.
Okay. Which one was the one with the? Which was in first person?
I do not know.
Wait, I'm sure there's one. I remember that. I don't know which one it is though. Sword. It was something with sword.
Are you sure it's not one of the spin-offs you're thinking of?
It could have been a spin-off, yeah. Which one was it? I know there was. I know because I saw it. With like motion controls, unless I'm getting extremely confused. But I don't think so. I remember that. I remember seeing videos, but they were early videos, so I don't know if it ever came out. It was like a demo or something.
Oh, you probably are thinking of Skyward Sword then. I think there was like a first-person demo But that
Yeah, maybe
wasn't
that.
the actual game, I don't think.
Mm. Yeah,
People
maybe
make
that.
mods for like Breath of the Wild that's first person and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah.
Skyrim.
Which is like terrifying when you're fighting a guardian or something.
Yeah, I guess. Doesn't really look like it could be first person to me. Honestly. Man, I'm trying to find some inspirational poses for this Pokemon, but I don't find anything that's interesting.
I'm not like a huge fan of first person, especially when you have games with character customization. It's like, what's the point if I'm going to customize my characters but then play in first person?
Yeah, right. You don't see it. You don't see the character, so.
I mean, at least in like Skyrim, right? You can play in first person or third person, but still.
Yeah. It's still weird. Like, it's still made for, as a first person slashing.
Yeah, it definitely is. I found playing Skyrim in third person was a little janky, to be honest.
Yeah. It is. And it's you see that it's like basically just dun dun dun. It's been the same since Morrowind. I mean, I think all of them have always been first person, but like when you had, I think Morrowind might have been the first one where you could actually switch to third person. I only played briefly the previous two games, and that was weird. Like, it was literally just the person doing like this with the sword. So not interesting. Not interesting.
That's why I am very hyped for the new Dragon's Dogma game coming out.
Are you? I've never played Dragon's Dogma. Is it good?
I love Dragon's Dogma.
Okay.
Just the mechanics are so much fun compared to like other third-person games, because like you can actually there's dynamism in the battles. You can actually grab on to specific parts of an enemy and start slashing them. That's actually part of the strategy too. Like you can grab onto a dragon's back and climb to its neck and start slashing at the neck. That kind of thing. Yeah.
But isn't it like a Souls game?
What do you mean?
Like isn't it like a? Doesn't it have the same mechanics of Souls games, Dragon's Dogma? So it's like very hard, very grindy.
I wouldn't say it's very hard or grindy, but it has a lot of RPG elements to it, and obviously you have like party members and things like that follow you around and help you in battle, that kind of thing.
Okay, so it's not exactly like a Souls game.
You can grab your party members, pick them up, and throw them at the enemy and knock them over. It's pretty funny.
Okay, that seems interesting. How old is it? Because it looks like graphics
it's about 10 years old.
Yeah, I can tell. Graphics wise, it doesn't look new.
Oh gosh, I want to play this again now. I still remember like you would fight goblins, and you can just like run up to a goblin and grab it and just like swing it into the other goblins and knock them like bowling.
It's a Western game though, right?
It's Japanese.
It looks Western though.
In terms of like the character designs, I would say it's more Western, like the overall feel. But it was made by Capcom.
Okay, that's why maybe I confused it with Souls. That's also a Japanese game, right? I don't know if it's by Capcom though. It probably is. Because I don't know. I had the impression that I'm not a Souls fan. I did not play Elden Ring. I think Cheese did. Where's Cheese? Where's Poochie? Probably not back to his own planet. So yeah, I was not a huge fan. I've seen it. I have a friend who likes it, but it's too action-ish.
Yeah.
Too
Dark Souls. I haven't played much of it, but from what I can tell, it's large. It's kind of like based on timing and also like dodging at the correct times and that kind of thing. I wouldn't say Dragon's Dogma is necessarily about that. It's more like it's a little more strategic. Like, if you're fighting a griffin or something, waiting for it to hit the ground and then jumping on its back to start slashing at its back, that kind of thing. Very logical in that way.
Okay.
You can cut off the body parts and limbs of creatures, like if you're fighting a chimera or something, and then like the chimera has the snake tail, and you can cut off the snake tail and kind of disable it that way. Little things like that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Well, okay, so there are 2 games, right? 2, I believe.
Well, there's the original Dragon's Dogma, and then there's one coming out soon.
Because I remember seeing like Dragon's Dogma and then Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So the 2 is the newest one that's coming out?
Yeah.
Okay. So there were more.
You might be confused because there was like a DLC for Dragon's Dogma called Dark Arisen, but that was just an expansion on the original game that came out later.
Okay. Oh, yeah, how does the new one look?
I posted a trailer for the new one in Jesus' Discord.
Okay, I'm gonna check it.
Back.
I don't know if I find the original one at a cheap price, because I tried Subnautica today. I thought it had some kind of story mode, but apparently it doesn't, like, at all. It's kind of like Ark, which basically doesn't have a story.
Yeah, I think Subnautica is just like an exploration.
I was convinced it had some sort of. It looked like from the trailer, at least to me, that there was some sort of something to do, but there isn't. So I'm a little disappointed by that. Oh, hello, Free for Fire. Our German friend, how is it going? We're doing a kaiju here, pretty much. Kaiju. It's kaiju in August. I don't know. I might. Yes.
I was gonna say, if you play Dragon's Dogma, you don't have to play a warrior class. There's like mage classes and things like that. So if you just want to be a pure magician, that's totally viable in the game, or an archer, that kind of thing.
Okay. I usually choose warrior. I tend to prefer like rogues, something that's like quick. Knives.
I get that. You can blend the classes too. So like if you want to be like a mage magician, you can do that, or a mage warrior, that kind of thing. Okay. I typically like to go for full warrior just because I enjoy getting up in the enemy's face and climbing them and slashing them, as opposed to fighting ranged. But it's up to you. You can play however you want.
I'll see.
And you have party members, so you can allot them a class if you want to cover.
Do they actually die? Are they like temporary members, or the classic party members that are just friends?
They're pawns, so they don't like.
Okay.
The pawns are part of the story, but they. So what happens is you get to make your own pawn, and then if you use online, you get to get other people's pawns as your party members, and it kind of scales based off of your level. So that way you can't start the game with like a level 180 pawn in your party, which would be broken.
Right.
It's interesting.
I see. How's the story? Like, is there a story, or again, it's like one of those games like you have to make your own story?
No, there's a story.
Okay, so it's more like classic JRPG, even if it's got a different style, say.
It's not JRPG necessarily in terms of the tone. It feels like more of a Western game in terms of the story.
Subnautica has a story.
I don't know if this is spoilers, but the ending is a bit depressing, in my opinion.
Okay, well, I guess not. Unless you say what it is, please don't, in case I play it. What do you mean it has a story? Like, is there a story mode? Because I didn't see a story mode in the menu. So I know. So I'm basically just a survivor. I crashed with my ship. Hey Scar, how's it going? I crashed with my ship, and I am on I was in a kind of a lifeboat sort of thing. But there's nothing to do. Like, it's not even telling you what you have to do. Like I had to figure out that by coincidence, I figured out that I could get water and food from a specific type of fish, because otherwise I was just dying. I had literally no idea what I had to do. So, by story I mean like, is there an actual plot? You know, it's telling you basically what to do. I was imagining something a little more similar to Alien Isolation. It's something between Alien Isolation and Ark. So, part sandboxy and part you actually are going somewhere. That's what I was thinking. But
whereas like there's the gameplay is kind of open ended, but there is something that you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
the story going.
But I don't feel like that. It feels like even less than Ark, if anything. So, because in Ark at least you got the obelisk, so you know you try to go there. I don't know, it's pretty obvious. Although I do not like the only reason why I play Arks for dinosaurs. So I hope there's something more to this, because otherwise I'm a little disappointed so far. Survival is a story mode. The story unfolds along the way with direct story elements as well as environmental storytelling. I see. Yeah, I don't know. I would have preferred something a little more similar to Alien Isolation. Which I have on the PS4 though. I would like to stream that. Even if it's not, it technically has nothing to do with the channel. Because they do RPG monsters, but I mean, you could say that the Xenomorph is a monster. It is. But you could say it is some sort of monster I might draw. I don't know.
Well, you've got experience with Giger stuff, so I think it would make sense.
Yeah.
Also, if you stream Subnautica, you should play the Sea Lab song just over and over on a loop.
No. No, I will not.
I love that song.
I shalt not. I shalt not do that. None of any of these. This looks too much like the one I'm using. I'm gonna get rid of it. It's making me less creative. I have to be honest, I don't have as many ideas for this one, except like, you know, like probably this is the best one so far. So I might just go with that. Subnautica is also allowed to rate. Oh really? Damn. Best tip I can give if you're lost is to check out and read through your PDA to figure out what you need to do and where to go. Oh man.
Oh god.
I don't know if I will do that. Wait, if I didn't play 2 hours yet, I can get my money back, right? On Steam. I think I can. If I didn't play 2 hours, right? I'm gonna try that.
I hate it when games put stuff in like lore books where you have to read through everything.
No, I don't think I'm
reading,
gonna play it.
But
I'd rather get something else. I would rather play. You know, I never played. I have. What's it called? Just Cause 2. I never played it, but it's so sandboxish and stupid that I want to play it at some point. I'm gonna just play that in my spare time, like 30-ish minutes a day. I don't know. I was I heard Subnautica is kind of scary and creepy, and I was imagining something like that, like Alien Isolation. But if it's just basically like Ark without dinosaurs, I don't know. Yeah, I might get a refund and get something else. I think I spent 6 maybe. How much did I spend? I don't know. I'm not gonna check now. I don't know. I would have got something else though on sale. Maybe I should have tried it before when the sale was running, so I could get some other game. Not another pixel remaster, obviously. Nier Solos? What do you mean Nier Solos?
I think he's saying Nier is the best game.
Oh, the best?
I would imagine that's what he means.
Well, I guess, given the avatar. I don't know. In any case, I've got games to play, and I've got games in my library that I did not play yet, like Just Cause. Pretty much the only one, though. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I know there was one that was very similar to Alien Isolation, set on a sinking ship or an abandoned ship that I want to play, but I forgot the name. Some parts of Subnautica are straight up horror, especially if you're bad with underwater stuff. I'm not. Also never played Just Cause 2, but Just Cause 3 is quite fun. Yeah, I know. I got the second one because it was cheaper. And I heard it was also better in some aspects. I think the grappling hook is there too, right? You can grapple hook cows. The only reason why I would like to sometimes stream some more casual games is because they're just stupid. Like a game like that's basically like doing stupid things in GTA. It's fun and laugh provoking because it's literally you take a cow and you hook it to a car and it's got to drag it away. So near stories peak, I see.
Well, you probably like Octodad then, as I mentioned yesterday.
Octodad, yeah.
Where you have to use your tentacles to grab things, but not grab too many things. It's like Katamari Damacy, except you're an octopus dad, and you're going through the.
I only played a demo of that game. Did you play the full game of Katamari?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's an old game. I don't know. I had a demo. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure if it was a demo, or they gave away the full game at some point. I know I played it, but it got bored after a while. Well, immediately after the ball gets big enough, it's always the same more or less to me, at least.
Yeah, it's kind of a gimmick game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, gimmick games, once you play them once, it's like there's no reason to play this again.
It's really just that good. One thing I noticed in Nier was that, especially Nier Automata or Automata, is that the environments kind of felt a little empty to me. I don't think you can hook things to other stuff yet in 2. Oh, it's 2 to 3. Okay. Oh no, as I said, I got it like 3 years ago, 4, and I never played it. For one reason or the other. Because I finished The Last Door, the game I kept mentioning on stream, so...
Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is updating. Why?
I don't know, it always updates.
I guess they're adding the cards that were just recently released.
Oh, you can only hook yourself to things in Just Cause 2? Okay, I see. I don't know, I gotta find something to play. I've got, let's see, like in my library, I don't like Hollow Knight. The Forest got boring immediately. I got it because of cheese. And we played it like twice, and that was it. Final Fantasy 13 we're gonna play, the other Final Fantasies. Might play at some point. Caesar 3rd, or 3, I played all of them, I think, except... Oh, I didn't play Silence, which is another point and click. And that's it. Yeah, I played all the others that I have. So I'm gonna try Just Cause, I guess, and then wait for some free game on Epic. But I'll probably get a refund for Subnautica. I don't know. I don't really have any problem with water. I figured like it would be kind of panic-inducing in some submerged environments. I envisioned something like Sphere, the book, which I really like. I don't know about the movie. I didn't watch the movie, but I heard it's bad. But I like the book, Michael Crichton's. So hey, Fiddle.
Which book?
Sphere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you read it?
I think I read bits and pieces. Michael Crichton is a bit hit or miss for me at times.
Yeah, for me it was like I like Jurassic Park. I do not like The Lost World. I like Sphere. I do not like Andromeda Strain. Really don't. Underwhelming ending. Extremely underwhelming.
It's really funny. Jurassic Park, both the book and the movie are brilliant, and then the sequels for both.
Even if they're extremely different. The world is really small in Automata. Do you say Automata or Automata? Like automaton?
Yeah, I say either Automata or Automata.
Okay. But the same locations are used for multiple story beats. I don't know if I like that part. I don't like to see the same thing over and over. I'm very peculiar with things. I tend to want novelty when I play a game, like very well crafted environments. They have a specific purpose. Oh, you have silence too, Zir. I see. Maybe look up a few gameplay videos on the later stages of Subnautica and the basics on how to play, and then decide if it's for you or not. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking of playing another Ark game. Again, I'm playing Ark only because of dinosaurs, and it's still pretty underwhelming because they are dumb, basically. So, how is the AI?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think any I don't necessarily any good video game, but especially like any good RPG typically tries to vary up the environments. That's why, they want to have like a volcano section, an ice field section, like all these different things just to spice it up. Because if you're going like into the same caves or same like corridors every single time, that gets like really taxing on the player.
Yeah, that's
as Nemo found out when he streamed FF2, and it's like the same thing every time.
Yeah, that was distressing to say the least. Distressful. Distractful.
And that was one of your complaints about Astral Chain, right?
Oh yeah, Astral Chain has a very I liked as soon as I started the game, I was like, oh, this game's so cool. Then I play like up to the second dungeon, basically. It's called dungeon or alternate world dungeon. And it's like exactly the same. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same with the same music. I wanted to keep playing because I did love the mech monster design. It's just so good. Like it's really it's just right up my alley. Like I love that kind of style, and the characters are pretty cool too. But then I went back to the police station, and I had to literally mute the TV because the theme was unbearable for me. That like kind of soft Japanese pop music. Sorry, I cannot take that. Like not for long. Like every now and then maybe, but I cannot play a full level basically and just have that kind of music play all the time. It's sorry.
God, I kind of want to get into the Digimon card game.
Yeah.
I really like the card art and the way the cards are designed.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some designs. They're pretty cool. I like the layout basically of the cards. It's very fresh, very modern. So
yeah, I really wish like Yu-Gi-Oh would just update the mainline cards. Obviously they have Rush Duel. That's like a separate thing, and they really need to take that format and put it into the main cards. Because honestly, there's so many cards that have great art, but then like they're just fitting them in a box where they have to crop it a bit, and you're losing the detail.
Yeah. Astral Chain is a Platinum the developers, right? Game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I like the mechanics. The combat is fun. It's really fun. I like it a lot, but it's too repetitive. It's just so repetitive. I cannot take it. I need more variety. I guess I got spoiled by Final Fantasy in the early days of my gaming experience as a teenager. But I can't play games that just use the same assets over and over and over. It's sad, but it is what it is.
Honestly, I think that you could get away with doing more games with like pre-rendered backgrounds. I would rather have that than just boring, bland environments.
I absolutely agree. I would trade, even not like they did not necessarily have to be pre-rendered, but something like Final Fantasy X, like with static camera, not static, but kind of static camera. Some of them were pre-rendered, but on average, I think Luca, it was not. Even Besaid, like most of the areas, the village was, but I would take that over anything else. Just remember how the Monster Arena entrance was? Like you do not get that kind of thing with maybe nowadays you do, but it's rare to get something that creative for an area. Nowadays you just get rock,
Well,
entrance,
yeah, world and
rock,
environment
rock.
design in modern games is like an afterthought.
I don't like it one bit.
Compare that to like FF9's environments, which like have so much thought and
Yeah, but even 8, like I mentioned it several times. Speaking of, I was actually working on an environment. So I was working on this thing. It's just copied from a photo and then adapted a little bit. It's not finished, obviously, but I think I might try to take this to a finish and see if I can do some environments as well. As I mentioned it some days ago, so that I can maybe have some environments to complement my features. Who knows? Some environment packs or something. Just a thought. I don't know if I will actually do it. But yeah, like the research marine whatever research center in
that's a good one.
Yeah, in Final Fantasy VIII, that's amazing. Like, you do not get that kind of thing in modern games. The closest one for me was God of War. That's why I like it so much, because some of the environments look like the old pre-rendered environments, like with so much thought and so much attention to even camera angles. Like when you enter an area, there are not many ways your camera could be oriented if you want to be able to see forward, you know, and that was great. The War and old DMC, yeah, kind of fixed, yeah. Solstice? I don't know. Solstice, I've never heard it. What is it? What kind of game is that? So yeah, I would rather have a game that doesn't have free camera. It's really hard to predict what a person will do, basically. And so because of that, most of the environments need to be generic, and you can tell they're extremely unappealing. Hello, Casual. How about Elden Ring? Yeah, I was saying before, I don't like the Souls type of style. First, because it's too difficult. I don't like to die in games. I would rather get a story mode or something. And also because it's really not my style. I would really love to see something that's more like the old Final Fantasy games. Hack and Slash feels very inspired by old God of War, although kind of janky. Okay, I see. Well, when I said God of War, I meant the new one in terms of environments. The old one was okay, I guess. I only played the first one, though the others I've seen videos of for story
What's up,
reasons.
Casual?
It's been 24 hours again. All FromSoft games have great world design, especially Sekiro. Another game I did not play. I could have played. But again, it's that kind of style. It's the playing style that I'm not very fond of. It's just not really not my type of game.
I don't think you're a big fan of action games.
Yeah, like action. I can do action RPG. Like I am willing to try Final Fantasy 16 because it looks oops, Jesus. Sorry about that. It looks legit cool. But that's just because I know, there are things that I will like. Like in general, if I take a very grim game like that Souls or like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, not a fan. Not a fan. it doesn't seem interesting to me. God of War 2 is the best one, followed by Ragnarok. Okay. I did not play either. I want to play Ragnarok, and I will. Probably gonna do it on the PS5 at this point, though. I don't even know when or if I will ever get my PS4 back. I mean, at some point, hopefully it's still gonna be there.
You might as well just wait for the PS5 if you're gonna play 16.
Yeah. Monster Hunter. I like the look. I do not like the gameplay. Again, same thing. It's just gameplay and not enough story for me. I know there is a story in Monster Hunter Stories, I guess, for the... Was it Switch or...
Yeah. Not really, to be honest.
I don't know, there wasn't? No, there wasn't?
There is, but it's very light.
Okay, well then forget that. So, worse. See, I don't do well with games that do not have something, at least something that interests me. It's gotta have some sort of story anyway, so that's why I don't know if I can play Subnautica. Because I do like monsters, but it's kind of, the design is kind of cartoony so far, it seems. Monster Hunter, I really like the design. And if it had something, if it was something more than basically, well, an MMO, I would probably play it. But I would end up having nothing to do, basically. I already know that I would. So, I don't think I would enjoy it very much. Sadly. Am I the only one who played The World Ends With You? I saw it, never played it. This game is really good in gameplay and story. It looks great. It's Square Enix, right? For me, Monster Hunter also looks kind of interesting, but doesn't offer enough for me. For me, it's the other way around, where I couldn't care less about story. I just want a better gameplay. Okay, I see. You might like MMOs then. Why don't you play Monster Hunter then? Because it... What do you mean by it does not offer enough? Because it seems like it has a lot. If you only look for gameplay. I would think. Again, it's a non-expert evaluation because I didn't play it. Cheese, do you have Monster Hunter World? Where am I getting confused? I think you do, right? The big thing for me playing Monster Hunter... So there are two things that stop me. First, the thing that Chase was mentioning before in Dragon's Dogma should be in Monster Hunter. I don't like to see meshes can penetrate. It's just a deal breaker for me. If you play that kind of game, I don't want to feel like I'm slashing at polygons. So you gotta give me some way to interact more. And I've not seen that in trailers, honestly. So play visual novels? No, I like gameplay as well, but I want a good balance, basically. I play RPGs. I played RPGs. And other games with good stories. I need to have at least some interesting characters. Something. There's got to be something I care about, because I don't. If I have to do something in a game, I prefer doing things in real life. Like if I play simulators, say okay, I can play Flight Simulator because like probably not gonna fly a commercial airplane, or even a normal airplane. Probably I could, I guess, but I don't think I will because I don't want to throw up my soul learning. But I would rather like cooking simulator. It might be fun maybe every now and then, but I would rather cook. At that point, it makes no sense. Unless it's something sandboxy, so like it could be farming simulator, you just throw things around. I can play sandbox games that are like that. because they're fun, but I cannot take them seriously. So if I have to play something just for gameplay purposes, I lose interest very quickly, unless it's something like, again, dinosaurs, because I like dinosaurs or something similar.
I get what you're saying. And like, if I'm playing an action game, I want it to lean a bit more towards the RPG elements than the action, where it's kind of all based on reflex and muscle memory, that kind of thing. Whereas I typically like things that are a little more cerebral, where I don't mind the action, but I want there to be more thought put into it. I feel like FF7 Remake's combat is a good example of this, where there's a bit of action to it, but there's still thought processes behind it. It's not all based on your reflexes and ability to react.
Scar, do you mean Tales of Arise? I have it. I'm not a fan. It's too Japanese for me. It's I don't like the characters. It's too obvious, like especially when you get to the first town, the actual town where it's always night. The fact that that guy was bad, you know what I'm talking about? That was obvious from miles away to me. I guess I'm reading too many books, I don't know. It was too simple. And then the reactions of Alphen are ridiculous to me. Like, it's too stereotypical. I don't know, it's weird. He doesn't react like a normal person. Like, not
Based
at
on
all.
The plot, it seems pretty by the numbers. Like, I don't know. It's something you would read in like just standard fantasy novel fare, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, Free for Fire. It's too grindy. No. I liked some Tales of games. I like Tales of Vesperia. That's my favorite. I did like Zestiria, even if I know a lot of people didn't like it. I liked it. I liked it back then. I don't know nowadays, but when I played it, it was pretty nice. It was a nice experience. That said, I did enjoy Abyss a little bit, but not too much. I played it on the 3DS. So Tales again is also a hit and miss for me. It depends.
Did you ever play Symphonia?
I played very little on an emulator many years ago. I heard it's good though. Like all of it. The part I played, I guess I just wanted to play new games, so because of the graphics, you know, I was in that phase like, I want new games, I want an Xbox or something like that, and I didn't, and so then I got the Xbox and I played that. But I heard it's good. Some people say it's the best one, right? Symphonia.
Some people do. I think some of those people fetishize the GameCube, though.
Could be. Well, I think there was a PS2 version as well, right? But I'm not sure it came out in the West.
I don't remember. I know that they came out with a remaster earlier that people criticized.
Oh, Zestiria you quite liked, yeah. I get that Tales is too basic, but it's like gameplay, and the story is enjoyable. I tried very, very much to, like, really hard to enjoy that because I paid $25 for it. I just can't. Like, when Alphen starts talking, I feel like muting. and overall, it was really too Japanese-ish for me. I guess I get triggered because I have PTSD from Japan, but like, I recognize the stereotypes, like Rin, is it Rin? No, it's not Rin. Rindel, the girl, and I did think some elements were interesting, but like in the execution square, where a certain character needs to be killed, like that part is screwed up. It's just screwed up. It's not handled well. It just feels weird, and then it's repetitive. Again, dungeons. Like, the dungeons are so repetitive, and the monsters are all the same. There are like 5 types in the whole game. So 5 types. That's not enough for me. You know, I draw monsters for a living. I want to see more. It's not like Final Fantasy had a huge amount of monsters, but not 5. Like, literally, you go from the volcanic area basically to this ice town, and along the way you basically only meet the Zugos, like the wolves, right? The wolf ones, basically just that, and that's a huge turn off for me. Even the big ones are all the same scene. So yeah, the locations are really cool. Graphics, you know, are good. It's visually awesome. I love the character design, everything, but it just doesn't. And the music is also pretty good. It just doesn't give me. It's all presentation. I feel like that game is all presentation,
not substance.
Yeah. So it looks really good, but it doesn't play as good as it looks. Let's say that. It's a bummer because I was really like, when I started playing, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set aside an hour each day in the evening to play this game, and I did. And up till the first boss, I had some minor complaints, but it was like, okay, overall I like it. Maybe I prefer other games, especially character-wise, other Tales games, but it's good, it's enjoyable. But then after that, it was all the same. It was literally all the exact same. So at that point, I don't feel like investing. It's a lot of time, you're investing in an RPG, and if it doesn't give me enough, then I don't play it.
The lack of enemy variety is kind of unforgivable for a major studio.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad in my game. Like my small game that I'm funding by myself has like at least 60 unique enemy designs, and then major game companies like take 20 and then do color variations, and that's it.
I don't think there are even 20. I'm not sure there are 20. Especially if you take the common ones. They could at least change some, what do you say? Like models. Like you can keep the same rig. Keep the same rig, and you just put it in another slightly different model. Like I did with the rat, right? I did the Mhawk version. Something like that. It would already be better. That's what they did in Final Fantasy X. Like they took the various monsters. They're not simple recolors. They are different.
They swap out elements.
Yeah, they're different. Like the Chimera, the various types, they are different. They are different models. So that's pretty cool.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like one monster, and then all you do is change the hue and say this is a new one. Like I understand that to some extent. Like it is hard, and you want to vary up the environments a little bit. I'm not saying I don't do that, but you also need to have like unique things. You need to have something unique, and not just the same monster copy pasted.
What is Bubsy 3D? Scarlet Nexus I heard is good. I've seen some things, but again, it's too Japanese for me. I'm afraid.
What is?
Scarlet Nexus.
Oh, yeah.
Too much. When we get into that sort of territory for me, I start frowning. So, as I said, PTSD. So, it's unfortunate, but I can still play the old games though. Though I probably like Final Fantasy because it's not very Japanese. Like if I had to choose between Tales and Final Fantasy, I would still choose Final Fantasy, even 8. Because Tales is way more anime-ish than Final Fantasy. I thought Final Fantasy was a good blend, honestly.
Final Fantasy was Japanese, but it integrated Western story elements and character ideas into its gameplay. So I think that was fine. I don't care about the anime style per se. I do care about anime style writing. That to me is the ingratiating part. If you had the character designs but it was well written, I would be okay with that.
Oh yeah, I can take a game that has, let's say mediocre, bad, maybe not, or disgusting, say something like that. Say mediocre, average, average design. But good story, good music, and everything else. I don't think I cannot take a game like Tales of Arise that has awesome, like really good presentation, and then poor writing. Because at some point, I feel like I want to be given something, either my money back or some kind of feeling, I guess. I don't know if I don't like the Bandai Namco vibe. I wouldn't say that. Again, I liked Styria. This year was kind of different in terms of story. It was not that... It was still anime-ish, but I feel like it was a little different, better. Even Abyss is also pretty good story wise. But in terms of even game, it's a feeling I get, I guess. With Tales games, it feels not Vesperia, mind you, but most of them, they feel like it's hard to describe. It's like it feels like a game. So when I play a Final Fantasy, it doesn't not feel like a game to me. Let's forget about Final Fantasy 9. Sorry, Final Fantasy 2. I'm talking about, you know, the PS1 era at least. Even 6. It feels like a cohesive block to me. When I play 99% of the other RPGs, or even just see videos of Japanese RPGs, they look like games. So I feel like, oh, okay, this is the game loop. Oh, this is this other element. Final Fantasy does not give me that feeling for some reason. Even if I know what is a game loop and so on and so forth, I don't get the same feeling from Final Fantasy. As if it's better. It does a better job at suspending my disbelief. I don't know, something like that. I don't know if you agree with me, Chase.
Well, I think Final Fantasy does a good job of keeping the story moving. It has very obvious beats, so you go from here to here to here, and it gives a sense of progression where you feel like you're stuck in a loop, and that's pretty nice. I do like that there's a pretty clear-cut sort of 3-act structure to most of the games, where it's like, here's what happens in the first act, here's what happens in the second act, here's what happens in the third act, and it's built on story structures that are sort of grounded, and it makes sense in terms of the logical flow of the story. When it comes to certain games with game loops, yeah, I understand what you're saying, where you feel like you're kind of just trapped playing the game.
Yeah, pretty much. And it feels it's also something that the looks, it's a feeling the looks give to me. I don't know if it is the free camera or something else, but it feels, how can I put it? It feels sort of disconnected. I don't know how to explain it. It's hard for me to put it into words because it's just a feeling I get. It's the same thing I said a while ago about, you know, it looks like a game because I feel like the game loop. But this is also a visual thing. They all look the same to me. And I don't know how to put it better, unfortunately. If not, I can make an example with different games, maybe, but I would have to look them up now because I don't really remember many. But it's some sort of, yeah.
I think that's a problem with a lot of AAA games. Indie games have a little more character and charm to them in terms of the designs, but like with big AAA titles, a lot of things are going to feel the same because they're all going for sort of that gritty, realistic look, right? We want to render the trees to look like actual trees. We want to render the environments to look like actual environments, that kind of thing. So I think that's a common thing you're going to see in big budget games because that's an expectation of the audience, is to have these environments look as realistic as possible to push the tech to its limits. But if you're talking like in terms of artistic design, then yeah, a lot of them aren't going to look the same because I think they're all going for that same realistic style.
Yeah, but not just that. Even like when I saw Xenoblade 3 that you were playing, I had kind of the same feeling, like, oh, this feels like a game. So it's like the camera is maybe at an excessive distance from the character, and the whole feeling of it is like, it's like very fluffy bread. So I like bread that's thick, right? I like bread that's very thick, and when I chew that bread, I feel like, okay, this is like, it's like pizza bread, like pizza dough. It's like very dense, and that's the feeling I get from Final Fantasy. It's like very dense. Most of the games, and that's the same feeling I got from God of War. It was very dense, the PS4 one. Most of these games, especially these Japanese JRPGs, I get the feeling that it's like empty bread. So the same feeling I get, like the difference between a good Italian bread versus the Japanese bread, same. I don't know how to put it differently because it's just my feeling. But that's the reason why I'm not able to enjoy most of them. It's a feeling, a matter of feeling, and that the impression I get when I play. So very hard to describe, but I could take as an example Xenoblade, and I guess Tales of Arise. Let me look it up again. No, Tales of Arise did not have that much, but still had some of that, I guess, where it felt sort of disconnected to a degree. I don't know. Yeah, I would have to play it again or see some videos, because it's literally a feeling with everything. Like everything has that kind of gamely structure that I cannot really describe, if not like, as this, like gamely structure. Sorry for the lack of a better description.
Yeah, I think I kind of see what you're saying. I think there are games that sort of avoid that. I feel like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom do. When I see the environments, I don't feel like there's a disconnection there. Although, Breath of the Wild, I feel the world is a little too empty. I think Tears of the Kingdom does a good job of filling that in. Where it's like, okay, so you're giving me a very large environment to explore, but you're not giving me much incentive to do so as a player. And I feel like Tears of the Kingdom does give you a little more incentives by, you know, adding little caves here and there and various wells that you can drop into, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's a good example.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of games just create open, empty spaces that aesthetically look nice, but there isn't much substance to them.
Right. Yeah, AAA games are living stylization and artistic integrity and designed for more realism and immersion. Here is a suggestion. Maybe try Katana Zero, because I feel you might enjoy it after what you explained. Katana Zero. Is it too Japanese again? Oh, okay. It's a pixel game. Sorta. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like, yeah. Or no, it looks like it's a
Metroidvania.
A Metroidvania, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I put this in a different category. Definitely. I tend to have categories of games that I can play, as I was saying before. This would probably be in the, I'm not expecting that much, but I'm expecting at least some fun. Games like JRPGs, usually I tend to put in the, I'm expecting to spend a lot of hours with this and to get some interesting, how do I put it, moment, let's say moment, some interesting moment of intense, either it's intensely emotional or something. But
yeah,
these,
I don't. When it comes to an RPG, RPGs really need strong character writing and story writing, because you're spending a lot of time with them, and that's the main thing. It's a role-playing game, so you're playing as characters in a particular world. That same logic doesn't necessarily apply to platformers and things of that nature, because they don't really lean on their characters. I mean, Mario is not a strongly written character or anything like that. But you play those for the gameplay elements. So I think you got to kind of differentiate between genres here a little bit. It's kind of like, you know, criticizing a horror book for not having enough romance. Well, that's not exactly what it's trying to do. So you have to analyze it in terms of the horror elements, not the romance elements. That would be an unfair analysis. So when you're criticizing, say, like an RPG for its story and characters, well, RPGs lean heavily on story and characterization. So those aspects need to be good, or else it kind of falls apart.
At least Japanese RPGs. I guess Western RPGs are a little more like do-it-yourself. That's why I don't play them.
They're a little more character customization, yeah, but I think even a lot of Western RPGs still have typically better stories than JRPGs do. At least more interesting ones.
Yeah.
Because realistically, a lot of JRPGs, frankly, are just like Star Wars ripoffs in some manner. Like we're a group of rebels fighting against an empire. I mean, Tales of Arise kind of falls into that category. So
yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah,
many FF games fall into that category.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just hope to see more games that are that are involved. They kind of go back to the same vibe of the old games.
They draw from the same well.
Yeah, although I don't know. I think maybe it might have been only Sakaguchi, because I don't remember games from other even. Okay, I did not play Star Ocean 2, so I don't know. But even Star Ocean 3 felt like that same thing. 3 and 4, which are the only ones I played, they felt much like games. So okay, well this is not a world. It's just a stage. It's an environment filled with monsters that do not even feel very accustomed to this place. It's just random monsters, and you're gonna have to fight them.
Well, Star Ocean 3 is a peculiar case because a lot of people criticize the plot twist in the game, and that isn't. I don't really care about the plot twist. I'm kind of okay with it. It's
Yeah.
whatever. It's something different. But for me, some of the biggest issues with it are, one, the character designs themselves. I'm not a big fan of that style. And some of the writing as well. Like even just the fact that the main character's name is Fate Line God. That's like very on the nose in terms of writing. I'm gonna name my character Fate Line God. And here's his friend, the security god, Ron Guardsman. That's his name.
What was the name of the blonde guy?
Fight...
Cliff?
We're gonna fight the evil president, Ronald Dump.
Fist of Fury. Well, yeah. No, but the main thing for me, apart from the music that I already mentioned last time, was this same feeling that I get in most games, and when I don't, I'm like, oh, I like this game. This feeling of it's just a game.
Yeah. Star Ocean 3's music is kind of hit or miss. Star Ocean 2's soundtrack is great. I don't know if.
Oh yeah, I listened to some of the.
They just felt very inspired to me, like they wanted to make this, and it feels like something magical and mystical and mysterious, and I really like that feeling it has.
It does, yeah. It's pretty good. Oh no,
you're actually exploring an alien world.
Right, well, Star Ocean. Do not forget your dragon. I did sketch a dragon, Free for Fire. I did sketch it. So, as I was saying before, I was considering using it as a topic for a stream, using one of those. Maybe I will. But I'm gonna do this. I don't know if I'm gonna do Garchomp tomorrow. If I'm gonna continue this tomorrow, or I will do something else tomorrow. And I like the top one, honestly. It's pretty much the same, like almost exactly the same pose as it has in the original art. But I kind of like it. It's like a shark. I might have to change it a little bit, but I kind of like it, honestly.
It's always funny when the Japanese use random Western words as names. Well, they name characters certain ways because it's exotic to Japanese, but not to us. That was the case with Terra in FF6, whose original name was just Tina. It's like Tina is a common name for us, not necessarily for them, so they changed it.
In general, they try to use English to look cool without knowing what things mean, especially in t-shirts.
That's obvious in the music too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of the English words in Japanese music are completely misplaced, if not all of them. So.
Hey, Queen of Rodents.
Oh, hey there. You fighting Cynthia from Pokemon? Thinking I'm fine when she pulls out realistic Garchomp. Okay. I love bad t-shirts. That means absolutely nothing. You see a lot of them in New York City. Yeah, but I was just saying Japanese use English words without knowing what they mean. Like I've seen a photo of a kid with a F word T-shirt. I don't think the parents knew what it meant. Like literally, I don't think so because it was a.
To be fair, that happens in the West too. Like all these girls getting like Chinese words as tattoos on their arm.
That's true.
Really know
oh yeah, same. Right, obviously, we do the same with their words. Although I would argue that, I mean, first they can read most of them at least. That they can read alphabet. Some words are pretty obvious. It's a little easier to know English than it is to know Japanese anyway. Even if for them it is difficult, it's still more common. Like it's not like Japanese is used a lot, except from Japanese or anime, Japanese related stuff. So let's see. Yeah, there is also a really often completely random German word used as names because it sounds cool to them. They're actually saying something like frozen bread store. Can I draw cheese with legs? I don't know why. Super common over here too. Door straps in Chinatown are so funny because all the shirts have exact dynamic. The exact dynamic. Yeah, like probably random words that mean nothing. To be fair, when I was very small, I think I had a Japanese or Chinese, whatever, like a kanji fake tattoo. It was not real. With some kind of kanji that was supposed to mean strength. I don't think it was. Like now I actually know which one means strength or power. And it was certainly not that. So I've been there when I was young. I've been there.
With any foreign language that's been made to have things that sound cool. Sometimes things just don't go translated because they sound much better in the original language than if you translate them. It's kind of like, in Final Fantasy, there's Zen Tetsuken, Odin's attack. And it's like, if you translate that literally, it means something like iron cutting sword or something. And that sounds way dumber than Zen Tetsuken. So you just leave that untranslated. But certain phrases also are just difficult to translate without sounding dumb, and then we just keep them in the same language as we do with French often.
Oui. Mais oui. Like le garage. I don't even know if that's originally French. There is that.
I mean, what would you rather say? Je ne sais quoi, or a characteristic that we cannot fully describe? Je ne sais quoi just sounds better than writing.
Well, then we can take Latin. We can take Latin then. That's even better. Like Memento Mori and all the stuff that we already talked about.
Yeah, I mean, Memento Mori. That's a good example of a phrase that just
some languages are just better at expressing concepts than others.
Right.
Although there are some, like in Japanese, like there's Ikigai, for example, which is, I mean, technically just way of living, technically translated, I guess.
Glad they have. Well, yeah, I guess there's lots of Ikigais in Japan. So
this. Yeah, several. Hey, kanji are always so funny as well. I only know about 100 kanji, so it would be easy to. No, maybe I can. I can probably recognize, like if it's a fake kanji. Although usually what they do is just they take a real kanji, like a random one, and like you take, I think water is something like this, right? And then, or the other way probably, Jay. And then you make it mean something else, right? That's how it usually works. So you tell
it's so
someone.
Funny. I'm looking at the mod actions right now, and the first one says, "I'll shoot you."
Because of cheese.
Because cheese threatened Samuel yesterday, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I do remember that.
My favorite kanji is yasai.
I cannot write yasai. Hey Nix. I don't think I can write yasai. You know what? Let me see if I can research. Why is it, by the way? You eat a lot of vegetables, cheese?
Wait, do you like vegetables, cheese? Are you fat?
No, I can absolutely. I see it every day, probably going grocery shopping, but I would never be able to remember this. It's also because it's two kanji. It's two kanji cheese, not just one. And they probably read very differently from yasai. Why do you like yasai? Oyasai, by the way. It's oyasai. Why? Cheese.
Oyasai.
Yeah. Because everything must be O.
I know Nomu.
Nomu?
Please. Nomu.
You want to drink? Well, if you're dying, that's a good thing. You know.
Oh, sake.
Oh man, I've been trolling them so much.
Osake.
Yeah. Which is anything. It's not just their alcohol. It's just any alcohol. Well, that's what makes it kanji. It's kanji. Kanji, exclamation mark. Kanjil. It looks like kanjil or kanji. I like the stroke placement and writing. Why? Well, I mean, if you can remember it, I guess you're one step ahead of me into grocery shopping in Japan.
He just probably likes the aesthetics of it.
I usually go by. It's not good looking. I don't like it. Why? Why would you like that? Let me show you. It's not good looking. Why do you like it? It's not even interesting. It's a boring kanji. Look, it's boring. Look at that. This is a boring kanji. This is boring. Take something like, I don't know, something like big. That's cool. Big is cool. Or the one for dragon is pretty cool. It looks like a dragon, like a little dragon. Heck, even the one for fish is better. It's like a fish. It looks like a fish.
Garchomp's mouth there looks funny to me.
Which one? This?
The one you're on right now. He's like going.
Like, I think about the goats yelling like people.
Oh yeah.
Bah. It's like yeah. But the one for dragon is I can show you. It looks like a dragon. It's like a serpent. It's you. There's more than one actually. Technique. I guess you can take this one, the most common. But there is more than one. Oh, thank you, Fish Hazard or Hazard, Fish Hazard. This is the dragon, I think. But there is another one that's used, actually, which is do I have a text? Yeah. No, it doesn't copy here. Damn it, it's too small. It's like a single one. It's this. I don't know what's the difference. I've seen both. This is cooler. This is one I like more. But in any case, it's like something with a tail, so it's very it kind of looks like the thing, right? Both of them do, but this probably more. So this means dragon. Do you what?
Not bad, but Team Yasai is at 1-0 right now.
I don't know, man. You have strange tastes.
You like vegetables more than dragons?
I don't think. Okay, I guess it's these three to choose from. A, B, or C. Yeah. Or 1, 2, or 3. So, I like 1 honestly, also because it's the most similar to the original. Kind of, the original thing. I would say 3 is similar to that, but not quite because the tail is turned. It's kind of dynamic. And 2 is Static. Static. It's probably gonna need some fixing to that arm on our right. I don't know. The first one is more kaiju. Obviously. Hey, it looks like
It looks like the left shark meme.
I'm gonna change the mouth a little bit.
I would.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, these need they need like extra spikes here and here.
Do you know what I'm referring to?
Am I doing what?
Do you know what I'm referring?
With what? With the thing you just said? The laughing shark? Oh no, then no, I guess not. I was thinking about something else, sorry.
Here, look at this image that I posted.
No, I did not know this one. One or three. Three, I like the legs. It's a little more dynamic. I might do three because it's a little more dynamic.
I like one or two. Or one or three, yeah. Two is a little too static, in my opinion.
Yeah, two is very, very, I'm here. I'm just here. And I will be here for a long time. In this pose, probably.
Oh, look. She's got modded again. Great.
I don't know, I like one. So one and three are very similar. Very similar. Three is a little more dynamic. One is like standing. Three is like moving. Of two, I like the overall proportions. Yeah, I don't know. I might put this up for votes again. I don't know if I want to do this tomorrow. If I want to do a dragon. Well, this is some sort of dragon anyway. But if I want to try to take, I don't have them digitally. I think the photos. So.
I don't know. I think it has to be one or three. Two is interesting, but the way his head is craned and his face, I don't know. It looks like I just farted in front of him. What are you doing?
I'm turning on the radio. If you get the reference. Do you know the reference?
Yes.
That episode, mime. That's so for everyone, for anyone not knowing what I'm referring to, there was an episode of The Simpsons where Homer goes testing some cars. I think an electric car. Yeah. And he's in the car with the salesman, I guess. And he farts, and to cover it, he turns on the radio. And the two in the back are like, he thinks that turning on the radio covers the smell, and it doesn't. Or maybe it was not exactly like this. It was, I think, one of them told the other, he's awful. Like when he farts, he tries to cover it by turning on the radio, and then he turns on the radio. So I don't know.
Autograph is a good band. Did you mention Autograph?
No. I said Homer. Homer. Not the one.
I know it. Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. Jeez. The band Autograph has a song that's called "Turn Up the Radio."
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's left or right. It's one or two at this, or A or B. It's A. It's, come on. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, it's A. A or B. In this 80s shocking pink. Flip a coin. I don't have a coin. I have a highlighter, which I cannot flip. I have a scissors controller, which I'm probably not going to flip. And a tape measure, which I'm also probably not going to flip. Also, because it's the same on both sides. Table. I'm not Jesus, so.
I can send some money lenders to your house if you need some inspiration.
No, I'm good. Man, I don't know. I'm looking at the original Garchomp. Maybe A. I don't like them a lot. Like, they seem extremely non-creative. I'm not a fan. I think Pikachu was better. So this is basically just a shark with arms. I'm gonna change the mouth a little bit anyway. But I might go with B. I like the more stronger cheese. The more stronger, like the canvas.
You want like more dynamic pose?
I would like to have a dynamic pose.
You could do like a jumping pose.
Jumping pose.
You could have its arms up, and it kind of looks like Batman when he has his cape up.
No. Garchomp. Garchomp.
That's great.
No, probably not. All right, I don't know. I'm gonna let it sit and then decide. Either by myself or I'm gonna post a poll again. I might do that and see how it goes. But anyway, I think we reached the conclusion of today's stream, everybody. Should I rate anyone? Let me see. Or 5 people. No, but there's no one in English I can rate. I could rate Ryan, but he's doing Cooking Simulator. It's not really has nothing to do with this. So and I talked about simulators before. Anyway, so we can just go. Okay, so thank you, Chase, as always, for being my co-host. Very much appreciated. And thank you for unbanning Cheese, because he's always getting banned, apparently. Thanks everybody else for being here, and I hope to see you tomorrow for, I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to continue with this tomorrow or I want to do a dragon, because I already have the sketches, so I will see. Tomorrow is Thursday, so we got 2 days, and then we have Final Fantasy 13. Okay? So, you guys have a good day, morning, afternoon, whatever it is at your place, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.